deck is definitely powerful, and when it goes off, it's hard to answer. Moon 11, we played against them yesterday? Today? Sometime. I think I played against them yesterday. I recognize the name of the avatar, but... Oh yeah, the late game mana sinks are good for when you float out, but I think the thing is just like, the deck just wants to dump everything on the table so quickly, and Catilda does such a good job with that. We're hitting Duress, main deck. They take this Unmoored Ego. What are you up to, opponent? Rhiom. Oh yeah, I loved 5-color humans. That was when I first got back into Modern, that was the first deck I bought. Ah, red black, okay. Yeah, I loved 5-color humans. Yeah, without Meddling Mage, you like also don't get a lot of like value out of playing Kitesail Freebooter. Without Champion of the Parish, you're like not as aggressive. Like you're still the aggressor in almost every matchup, but you're not ever going to be as aggressive as the 5-color deck was in Modern. So you just end up in this position where like you're an aggro deck that isn't as aggressive as other decks. This is probably Black-Red Blood without Lurrus then, huh? I wonder what they're playing as their like adaptation, or if they even made any adaptation. Yeah, Trespasser. Solid. This Niv will do well. Tolsimir will lock up the ground pretty effectively. I gotta do like this Moto. Alright, I'm just gonna play this land in tapped. We'll take our beating here. Spellbinder is a fake version of Mage. The problem though is that like having your lock elements cost 3 instead of 2 is like a little bit tricky, I think. It's not bad, it's just like leaves you in this position where you're never quite able to get under them. Celestis actually would probably be pretty good of a consideration in the discard deck. Being able to flip day-night is nice with your Trespassers, and also just like looting away cards. I think that's actually probably pretty big brained. I also think that like a card like Rotting Regisaur is like a good sideboard option if your goal was to like consider this casts, right? Yeah, so casting this actually gets this nicely to flip back, which is kind of neat. But yeah, a card like Celestis is actually a pretty nice tool in a deck like that. Alright, so what do we have? Really just have these. I think we just play this Tolsimir, and then we bring to light next turn. Tulsi. Gain our 3 life, kill their harvester. And they can kill Volga. No, just blood token. Sure. Could be a fatal push, but they would have just fatal pushed anyway. Alright. We can take our lump for a turn, and then we'll have a Niv or a Bring to Light for Omnath just to like get out of range. Yeah, testing a lot of Greasefang makes sense, I think, for Indie. But I think Humans is a really good spot. The thing is, and like I'm sure this will come up in like the tier list for next week, is Humans is in this weird spot where if the meta wants to attack it, I feel like it's very reasonable to expect Humans to get beat up. But if people don't want to respect Humans, you'll just get under everybody pretty reasonably. And you already outsize a lot of the other aggro decks. So like you end up in this position where decks like Greasefang have like predators insofar as like Graveyard Hate is really good against it. Phoenix is probably the best deck, but I don't think it's always the best choice to bring to an event if your goal is to win the event. I think if your goal is to top 8 the event, Phoenix and Blue-White will almost always be your best choice right now. I think if your goal is to win the event, that's not necessarily true. If that makes any sense. Alright. Red, black, blue, white. So I think Phoenix is the most consistent with a lot of high upside, but it is a deck that people can attack and is beatable. And if people choose to try and attack you, they can successfully do it. Blue-White's similar, but I think right now you're in this position where mostly just like people are going to be playing other mid-range decks that have ways to interact with Phoenix. Let's see. Shaman, Flare. Shamans are interesting. I think right now, at least, I'd probably want to consider upping the voices over the Shamans. I like everything else that's going on. I like everything else going on here a lot. Or Grease Boat. Like I don't like the Esper versions of Greasefang nearly as much. I like this plan a lot because like if they just rest in peace you, your whole plan is just like rotting them and just like kill them real quick. And like I think that is a very, very strong plan, all things considered. I'm gonna take 4 here. We have extra cards to pitch with Dreadbore now. I don't think we have to get too antsy. Yeah, I like the Abzan Greasefang decks a lot better of the Greasefang decks. Do this. This. There's this. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, I don't think I can see why this might remind you of Inverter or like give you that sort of feel, but I think it just it falls into a very different category where the hate cards are much better against it than the hate cards were against Inverter, and that's like a legitimately big problem for the deck. We don't care what colors we're tapping for because we're just getting Valky. 1 Valky, please. Sybil. And your Kalitas is mine. We're just gonna stay on D so that if they attack with the Den, we can block the Den with the Tolsmere and the 1/1 with Sylvan Caryatid, and then we just run away with this game. Pretty uncontested. Yep, draw card's fine. Worst thing for us here is K command, but then we just pitch Caryatid and we're still way ahead. Alright, against red black. Definitely want Blood Baron, Garab God, Fatal Push. Unward Ego comes out, Notion Thief comes out. I think Culling Ritual probably comes out because they're more like some 1s and 2s, but things I care about are their 3s. Dreadbore's good, Decay's good. Maybe Dreadbore's just like a worse Fatal Push. Without fetches, maybe not. If we're worried about their threes. I think I like this. Yeah, I mean, I don't think any deck that existed with Luris just falls off the face of the earth. I think what it does is it adapts. Like, Black White Auras will adapt the least, because I think, unlike a lot of the other decks, you can't really afford to move your curve up. But, like, you just end up playing a 15th sideboard card and having a worse mid to late game. But, like, with Kaya's Ghost form, you're still in a reasonable place against a lot of things. I think you probably just have to, like, play your spots a little bit more carefully. You can't just, like, jam all in on the assumption that Luris will save you. I think a lot of decks are going to change, right? Like, I think that burn decks that were all 1 and 2s can now run something like Bone Crusher Giant and be fine. I think curves will move up a little. Not heinously up, but I think all the decks that did exist will still exist, and then we'll see a variety of new decks and a lot of different builds. Yeah, we actually played against Boros Feather today. I missed your whisper. Sorry about that. Yeah, Boros playing Feather was interesting. Like, Heroic getting Feather again. I guess the thing is, like, you just get to walk down the list of Goldfish 5-0s and be like, okay, what decks actually are gonna just add some cards that got priced out because of Luris? Yeah, Experimental Frenzy as a sideboard option is not a bad one. I'm gonna keep this. Good mana and a Niv is usually really good into these mid-range decks. Niv is very hard for them to overcome as long as you aren't already dead by the time it comes down. Yeah, like, that's the thing, is like, Luris going away isn't gonna, like, make bad decks playable, but what it's going to do is dehomogenize a lot of the decks that existed. And, like, yeah, some decks will still stay almost exactly the same, but I think that's okay. The decks like Black-White Auras that always wanted to be low to the ground are just gonna stay low to the ground. There's not a whole lot of reason to change that now. Abzans will come in tapped. But I think a lot of the decks that were having that push and pull of, like, do I play Bone Crusher or Trespasser or Luris, or, you know, can I play a 3-drop in my Anvil deck like Mayhem Devil, or do I have to be a Luris deck? Like, now you just get that push and pull a lot less, where the options are kind of just like, you can make decisions instead of it just being like, you're just supposed to play Luris because Luris is, like, a top 5 creature all time. Like, I think if your deck could play Luris, or reasonably could get to a point to play Luris, and you weren't playing Luris, you were just doing yourself a disservice. And, like, now you actually get to have deck building decisions again. Yeah, maybe you don't play Terrarium, you just, like, play other cards. Sorin the Murthy. 2/3 Vampire, sure. We're about to drop a Blood Baron on them and hope it's good enough. Ooh, maybe not. I think we are, though, still. My lifelinker is bigger than your lifelinker. Yeah, I think it's one of those things where, like, the number of deck building decisions you get just increases, and I think that's a healthy place for any format, is when there isn't, like, default assumed options that are always correct. And, like, yeah, I think, you know, you might see some Obosh, you might see some, you'll definitely see Yorion, you might see some Obosh, you might see Gigantha to the same level as before, but, like, I don't think it's gonna be oppressive in the same way that, like, Luris was a dominant part of the format. Like, we even saw that Lutri control deck for a hot second. Bone Crusher to then get in the way of this? Sure. Well, we're gonna deal with this the only way we know how. Alright, let's actually do this the better way. Red, blue, white, green, black. Yeah, Anji could be really interesting as an idea. Like, that's the thing, is like there were so many cards that were like very clearly signpost cards that just couldn't exist because of the way that like Luris was. I think it's a much more interesting world where Luris is able to no longer push so much out of the format. Gain 3 life, kill this, play our tap land, kill Sorin. Alright, we've effectively outvalued them. We're at a solid 20 after everything they've done. That's the thing, is like I'm so curious to see what cards start to see play that were just unplayable, because like why would you ever play something that isn't a Luris? Trespasser, alright. We can Shadow's Verdict at some point, but we're not really pressed to right now. We have this 4/4 that's gonna outpace their lifelink. I'm just gonna black, red, blue, white, green. Just a Yasharn, huh? 1 pig, please. I'm gonna attack. If they kill this and attack in, they get in for 6. Chain Whirler is going to remind you of the standard days. I actually got Chain Whirler to the dirt today yesterday playing humans. Just like all of my X1s were in play and I just got bopped. Yeah. Yeah, Karuga's pretty unplayable. The thing with Bring to Light is it's just a toolbox card. It's definitely good, don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's too good. I just think it is a strong card. I think that like when mid-range aggro decks are very good, Bring to Light's scary because like you just always have an answer, and that's, I know, very frustrating. We're gonna block here because we're gonna Shadow's Verdict, I think, here. Just like hope to ride this to victory. Exorcist with Triome's coming. That's true. So I think we're gonna... Do we risk? No, we're not gonna be greedy. Maybe we should be greedy, actually. I actually think we should be greedy here. Draw 2 basics. What? Why are you in my deck? Get the hell out of here. Red, black. I think here, kill this, gain back our life because this can just sit this back. I think now our Bring to Light for Shadow's Verdict is a much better option. Yo, Fujifilm 400, thank you for the follow. Really appreciate you. Another Dreadbore, you say? How rude. Alright, well, this is still only net down 2 life for this. Now we can Expressive and just find like a Niv. Ooh, that's not bad at all. Blue. Yeah, I mean, I think 5 color mana bases will get an upgrade, but you gotta remember that like the cost of a 5 color mana base isn't that your spells get restricted anymore, it's that your tempo is restricted. So like it's actually pretty punishing to to like have all your lands come into play tapped, for example. So like, if you're just like sticking more triomes in a deck like this, you end up in a position where like you might just not be able to cast your 2-drops reliably. I think the more likely scenario is that 3-color decks that didn't have triomes get a lot stronger. Like Bant gets stronger, for example. Because you just get to have that land that fixes everything for you. Which we've seen in a lot of the 3-color decks is where it's at its best, is you just like always have something. Only standing up. Nice, they stood up the one I wanted to kill. Get out of here. Yeah, Grixis might be able to do something, which is neat. Given that I think Grixis has been forever not a deck at this point, so it's like nice to have it still exist. Right, a solid 11. All right, red, blue, white, green. Oop, no, hold on. We need black. That's what. If miss it. I'd like to draw like 3 cards here. Okay, I guess 2 is fine. Nahiri. Minus here. All right. Yeah, Pyre Humans is something. If my friend is a big Humans player, like in Modern and things, and he's played a bunch of Pyre Humans. I think Pyre is another one of those cards that like is underexplored. Like Renegade Rallier is sweet. There's a lot of really good cards. Jeez, takes take a lot of damage there. Yeah, you kill my Nahiri, who cares? Another Trespasser, huh? Clear the board if we want to. I can clear the board nicer. Black. Get in there. Yeah, there's a lot of really sweet cards I think you can chain with Pyre. Yeah, when your curve stops at 2, it's really hard to play Pyre. That's fair. But I think there's a lot of interesting spots. Like I said, just like the banning of Lurish just opens up possibilities. That's just where it ends up being its most prevalent. And they go to 7, they go to 3. We have a removal spell. They have to have something impressive. Alright, well this turns off Angrath's Rampage is the reason why I'm going to snap play it. That's one of those cards they could have as an out. Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of those things where like there's a ton of different skills in Magic, right? Like if you looked at it like a you got it. Like a ranking system, right? Like all the different skills in Magic, like technical skill, deck building, sideboarding, like everything you could possibly break down. I think people have value on different things, and like deck building is definitely something that like some people rate super highly and some people just don't enjoy. Like a lot of the times, runner. Opponent probably plays a little poker. Would be my guess. No problem. Thanks so much for stopping by. I greatly appreciate it, sir. Have a good day at school tomorrow. And catch you around soon. Alright, this is one of those hands that, like, if they're playing a deck where this interaction is good, we'll at least be able to stall. But without a Caryatid and without any, like, actual haymakers, like, if they're playing anything where these 3 removal spells are bad, we're just doomed. So, like, if they showed us a Lurrus, I know freshly banned. But if they showed us Aluris, I'd be much more willing to like just lean on this. I think we can do better. Yeah, this hand's much better. A little bit awkward because all the triomes, but I think we just put back a Vanishing Verse. Just go like turn 3 Caryatid, turn 4 Yasharn hopefully. Or like hopefully we just draw an untap land somewhere in here. A lot less interaction, but I think without them showing us Aluris, which won't happen anymore anyway, it's hard to keep a hand like that in the dark. Island. Spirits? Oh, Ascendancy. Okay, well, we definitely wanted the the Abrupt Decays against Ascendancy. I guess it could be Phoenix, too. You're right. My brain's just on Ascendancy right now, but it could also be Phoenix. Hello, Zelda. Ah, it is Phoenix. Good call, Banjo. Ah, it's been pretty good. We 3-2'd with mono black discard. We went 3-2. When it won, it looked really impressive. The matches it lost were at least close, so like it wasn't ever as one-sided as I think people might have assumed when we were losing. Like, our losses were relatively close, but the wins were pretty solid. Is it Charm the Celestus, huh? Okay, then. We ran out of Ludwig's playlist. Trying to play some DMCA free music so we can have some music on the stream again, but it's tough. Alright, we'll play some Pokemon. Yeah, deck's been feeling good today. I would love for them not to buy back this Phoenix, because I want like one more turn. Hey, perfect. Anvil since Claudio made it? I mean, Anvil's a really good one. I think Anvil's probably going to be able to exist as a deck. It's just going to look very different. That's kind of where I'm at with most of the decks right now. It's just like, I'm excited to see where they develop after Lyris is gone. Ooh, that was a nice hit. Just reload our hand. We got like a Treasure Cruise plus there. I've been enjoying these like mid-range killer decks, like Niv and Winota. I think people are going to be playing some wild things for the next week or two, so it's good to have streamlined decks that know what they're trying to do. It's not an exclusive requirement, but I think it's a reasonable consideration. Mono Red Burn, Winota, and 5-color Niv all ready to jam this week. Those are some good ones. I think the Mono Red decks look interesting. I've seen quite a few of them floating around. Niv, I think, is well positioned right now while people are still in the mid-range energy. And like Winota's gonna be good until people pick Phoenix back up at high numbers. I think Blue Eye Control's also just well positioned because like the Wandering Emperor is so good. So good. Definitely one of the top cards for me right now. So I think decks that can leverage that card are in a really good spot. You know, Lightning Axe, pitch Lightning Axe, and then Fire Impulse this. Sure. Get back Phoenix, attack. Nahiri. Blue Eye Vehicles deck and see what really important to controlling some boards. Yeah. Yeah, I think Wandering Emperor is probably my... It's crept up. I think Light Paws and Wandering Emperor are my two cards I've enjoyed the most from Neon Dynasty. Oh, we about to get just extra turns here. Or is this... Yeah, this looks like extra turns. Alright, you're up, opponent. First extra turn. Yeah, I think I'm playing some Pioneer matches with Casual Jake this week, and I think we're going to be looking at some decks. I'm not sure if blue-white vehicles is going to stay on the list, but I know it's talked about. Oh yeah, the tapped part's important, but I think a lot of people forget you can just make a 2/2. Like, a lot of times you just, like, jump them with a 2/2 instead of exiling the creature, and that, like, throws them off guard. Alright, Phoenix is gonna kill Nahiri. Go for their another next turn. Yeah, it is basically like Snapcaster in that sense. Yeah, every mode of the Wanderer has been great. I was in that blue-white control deck I played last night. We ended up 4-1-ing, and Wanderer was incredibly impressive. I think there's a chance you want to be like 4 Wanderer, 2 Nahiri, 3 Teferi. Ooh, Crewing Heart with her is kind of nutty. I like that a lot. It's just a hard cast temporal. Alright, well, we'll take another 3. Yeah, 5/5 First Strike Heart sounds pretty good. Alright, well, we'll block. Are they? Couldn't tell you, to be honest. That happens after a while. I feel like I know most people on Moto, but I certainly don't know everybody. Like Herited, but I think we just want to kill this Phoenix while we have the minute and they're tapped out. Name does seem familiar, though. I'm sure they play probably a lot of Phoenix, at the bare minimum. Mm-hmm. You're in there, friend. Green, blue. Black, red, white. Get our Niv. Ooh, Notion Thief's kind of a nice one. We have one main. I mean, if their plan is just to like try and attack us to death with this all, like, okay. I'll just jump and keep moving on with our lives. Ooh. I'll just pass on this. They've already used their temporals, so we'll sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. 2 Phoenixes, 2 temporals, 2 axes. I'm fairly confident. Like, the thing is, they know about this Notion Thief, so that's what they have to expect we're doing, right? It's just like holding up Notion Thief. Wait for them to attack. Finishing verse. We can pay 3 and these at charm 2 here. And more do you go, you friend? Arclight Phoenix. Alright, what win conditions do we have? Oh, they have a third temporal trespass. That's worth knowing. But they have no win conditions. Oh, they have one hall left. Okay. One hall left, so we do have to kill them before the hall kicks in. So they have Galvanic and Fiery Impulse ×2. Yeah, Impulse. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, so they have Galvanic. Let's scare this Lightning Axe. Alright, we'll just pass. We'll K command plus Notion Thief here. Card 1. Or their Galvanic. Now I get to eat the Galvanic with the Clothis. Yeah, they've had enough. Means they can only take one extra turn. From there, I think we're in a good shape. Alright, we want these. We want these. We want this. We want this. Falling Ritual goes. Extinction Event goes. Oh, I'll probably keep Extinction Event. Sharn goes. Decays go. Turquoise can stay. I think we want the Vanishing Verse more. Command stays, Nahiri stays, Tulsamir goes, Verdict goes. E-Spark's probably fine. It does hit Jace. Alright, I think this is where we're at. The weird combo of Bring to Light plus Deafening Silence, because you just always get a creature. Yeah, I think these Nib to Light decks are very well constructed right now. At least to try and fight. How's it going, Peter? First member of the 1-0 club. Got rid of your boy. Never 5-0 again. Poor Luris lad. Hand's not bad, but I think we can do better. Hand's not much better, but it is better. Put this on Nath. Well, that was the best possible draw, as long as you don't get Is It Charmed. Now I like don't know. I think I might just wait. I think I might just wait to play like Celestis into Deafening Silence in case they want to counter the Celestis instead. Or like this just lets us slam it. We have to be careful of like Otawara specifically, but alright, tapped out. Yeah, Otawara is kind of the only thing I care about here. Alright. This, play Celestis. There we go. Oh yeah, this is a deeply medium hand, but a lot of Niv hands start pretty medium, and then you just gotta like work your way through there. Phoenix postboard will have like, I mean, they have Is It Charms, they'll have Mystical Disputes, they'll have Negates, some number. Depends on the builds. But this person was playing 3 Trespass, so like their build isn't quite stock standard, so I'm sure there's some wiggle room to it. Now they're in this weird spot where like they want to like pieces. Oh, before the mulligan? Yeah. Yeah, that first hand was deeply medium. I think we had a lot better chance. Plus, we're digging to look for these, and we were able to find it pretty reasonably. Okay. Ooh, we get to flip day night. Let's go. We don't need another one of these triumphs. Herited's not a bad one. But since we already have the 5th land, I think I'm just gonna play Nahiri here. If they want to pay full rate for a Mystical Dispute, that's fine. Yep. Tapped. You're up. And now we just try and slam Bring to Lights till they hopefully run out of gas. Or we just keep looting away extra things. Huh. Just play the Otawara. Interesting. They just get pieces here? Alright, well. Hold on. It's the right way, actually. Green, blue, black, red, white. Alright. Oh, that's the worst. I just had invasive surgery ready to go. Alright. Well, that's bad for us. Not the end of the world. We just need to dig up a Niv the old-fashioned way. Yeah, I mean, they play invasive and they play Test of Talents. Just like having enough ways to dump things in your yard makes sense, but we'll keep going. We gotta flip Celestis to dig. Oh yeah, they definitely do run counter spells. They always have. It's just a matter of like, sometimes it hits well, sometimes it doesn't. Aggressive, sure. I'm guessing their game plan is just like find lands, kill us with Hall eventually. usually the game plan with against silence. It's just like slam a phoenix. You're in there, friend. Two spells, flips this back. Don't need the extra deafening silence. We'll loot. Alright. Well, the Celeste is pulling weight already. Gained us 3 loots, 3 life. Crackling Drake. Well, if they have a counterspell for this Niv, it's going to be a bad look for us. They can have a mystical dispute. Take 3. Yeah, if this doesn't resolve, we're in some trouble. Like to loot. Red, white, blue, back green. Because we drew a land, we can pay for Mystical Dispute now. Kind of nice. Pay command Scarab God, huh? Not a bad one. Scarab God especially is kind of the best card in our deck when we've established the Deafening Silence situation. We'll just offer this trade and probably just take the 3. We'll just take 3. That's fine. Another Crackling Drake, huh? That's kind of a problem. Is a take an extra turn? No, pieces for now. Alright, well they hit the dispute. Art. Not that mode, hold on. Discard, deal 2. Alright, well we can pay for the Scarab God tax here on dispute, but we need to draw land to be able to activate it. We didn't. So if they have to take an extra turn, we just die. They have to dispute here. Because if we play a land and then can Arclight, it's a problem for them. Yeah. Alright, if they have the extra turn, we die. We just block, take 12. Take 12. This is just stand up. It's just like pay the full rate for trespass. Okay. Yep. The Crackling Drakes are a problem. Goes forward. They're just so big. They have to keep in these Dreadbores. The Notion Thieves are good, but Same with combo, they're like good, but they have so many pieces of removal. But it did seem like they boarded some of them out, to be fair. Take out the Somnath. Really just don't want that many blue cards with the number of disputes they can find. That was a pretty back-breaking, invasive surgery, to be fair. The Game 3 Classic against Phoenix. Yeah, the like Deafening Silence, very strong, but when they're relying on sort of just like all of their spells can be cast one at a time, and then they just sit behind counter magic, it's tough for us. We have to get onto the board fast enough to get under it while also preserving advantage. Again, this is one of those hands that like likely just does nothing and dies. Alright. This hand's much better. Put away a Caryatid. Early Caryatid is strong. Double Celestis, not great, but funnily enough, the first Celestis lets us pitch the second Celestis. I'd really like to draw a land, though. Yeah, chart's fine, so now we get to resolve this either way. If we draw a land, we get to go Celestis plus Caryatid, which is kind of huge. Or just really immediately puts the pressure on them to stop developing their board and respect our 5 drops. It's kind of the best we can hope for. With Temporal and Hall, it definitely became a lot harder in this matchup. When it was just Phoenixes, this matchup was a lot easier. Alright, Celestis, Doc, Caryatid. Alright, we got a lot of mana. They're gonna Expressive and just have the Dispute up, but then if we play something that isn't blue, they're in trouble. Feels like they're kind of in a position where like they either do nothing. All right, Expressive. Do they hit Arclight Phoenix? So they don't get to double spell. They do get to hold this up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're one short. I think we have to assume they have a dispute here. It's not great. Like, that's our best window, but this is just like pretty impossible to run our one threat into. If we had backup threats, I think we could just jam there. Because like it doesn't get better, it just gets to a point where like 3, 6, 7, like with a land we don't lose to dispute. Or don't get countered by dispute. We still get countered by invasive surgery, which is a bit awkward. I exiled one of their own Phoenixes. I wonder what the third card was in that pile, right? Phoenix, put a card back that isn't a Phoenix. Might be a Trespass. And probably a surgery or a dispute. Like, dispute's the one that makes the most sense to be holding up forever. We definitely want to get this Bring to Light out of our hand before they have Delirium, though. We have the choice. But like, if we draw a land, we just want to slam it, because then we can play around Dispute at least. I actually don't think I saw Treasure Cruise, now that I'm thinking about it. I wonder if they only were playing Temporal as their delve spells. I didn't remember seeing Treasure Cruise when we looked at their deck list for the Unmoored Eco. Oh? So you're saying we get to resolve this, huh? I think we just get rid of the land here. Black, green, red, blue, white. One Niv Mizzet, please. Get this Unmoored Ego. I wish we could cast the Unmoored Ego. So, like, I guess if we knew, I guess since we knew Niv was hitting, maybe we just pitched the Dreadbore so we have 3 mana open. But we like don't know we're drawing 3 mana spells in a second Dreadbore. That's like hard to play that consideration correctly, I think. Alright, so this pieces do a lot of, it's like Fiery Impulse, removal spell, buyback of Phoenix. They know about the Unmoored Ego, so like they have to be aware that we can sort of clear up their thing. I think actually if I Unmoored Ego, I think I would just take Temporal Trespass. Like I think I can beat Phoenixes pretty easily, and I think I can kill the Crackling Drakes. I think I would just take Temporal Trespass. I think that's the card I'm most scared of when given the opportunity to answer anything here. Galvanic, buy extra turn. Yeah. No, just double pieces. Okay, so they're tapped out. Okay, so they lose their Jace, or one of their Jaces. And then they're gonna get one of the 2 of these 4. Put hand. Let's opt pieces. So they have these 4 in hand now. That's Unmoored Ego them. Royal Trespass. Snipping Tool their hand. Back. Alright, they have pieces, consider Crackling Drake land. So they can just buy back these Phoenixes. They only have 1 Phoenix in the yard, so yeah, I'm gonna just play this combo. Makes it so that if they want to buy back Phoenix, it's gonna cost them pretty dearly. They go to 12. They're tight on mana. They don't have Trespass. They don't have a board state. If they want to play this Crackling Drake, we just kill it and then kill them, more or less. I feel like we sort of put them in a good position where we should be able to take this game. Consider X2, Drake, X2, pieces, X2, halfway. Oh, I don't. What's up over here? That Temporal, I'm not entirely sure how they kill us from here in a reasonable sense. I feel pretty confident. But certainly don't want to get overconfident here, but like I said, I'm feeling pretty confident. pieces, sure. So any more spells now puts them to dead on board. Phoenix Draco, so they get Gust, Opt, Consider. Gust buys them another turn. Yeah, Gust can buy them another turn. Consider. And they're gonna Gust. Get back 2 Phoenixes. Put that on top. We're just gonna go Dreadbore, Clothis, put you to 4. I guess we only need to do 1 Dreadbore then. Oh, okay. I see. So we racing? Interesting. Alright, I'll take our 6. I think we just do this, because it just puts us in the best spot to win. Put you to 4, if you cast 2 spells you die, if we get 2 more turns you die. Don't have extra turns to work with either. It's like even if they drop like a Crackling Drake, we just put them to 2 and then play Bring to Light and get a removal spell. Feels like we have fully entrapped them. They're really thinking about it. And we're just like fully in the tank here. Lightning Axe, Combo. Pieces. Finds nothing. Consider. Get back 2 Phoenixes. Another Consider. And they die to the Clothis. There we go. Alright, 2-0 with Niv. Managed to grind that one out. Right. No, not gonna front on that. But I don't think they went from like tiered decks to completely unplayable because you lose Luris. Well, this hand's great. Has a little bit of our awkward non-synergy, but pretty much any turn 2 carry-to hand. Yeah, 3 CMC cards are back on the menu. Meat's back on the menu, boys. Alright, this looks like mono green Karn. Not the best place for Calling Ritual, but Dreadbore will be fine. They can. Oh, actually, it might just be mono green devotion. If it's just devotion, we're actually much happier to see this culling ritual. We still need to find something big to do with our mana. Well, that's something big to do with our mana in quite a few turns. Could also just like bulky early. Okay, command it back. Pack leader. I worry. I really do. I think I am just gonna kill this. Could just play this Valky, huh? I think I am gonna just play this Valky. Got any Vornclixes over there, opponent? Any Vornclixes? Oh. You do not. You just have... Okay, I'm glad we killed that, because they just have Nykthos, and that's about it, so... Yeah, Ehrenbrug. Well, we are certainly in some trouble, insofar as this will take a while to chip down, so if they find anything between now and then, we're in a little trouble. Yeah, first Vivian. Five drop. Well, you're not a 5-drop, but at least I can loot away some lands. Alright, take it. Celestis is definitely one of the best upgrades to this deck we've had in a while. Alright, so they're still just holding on to these cards. 5-drop. Alright, well, Expressive at least digs us pretty close. Huh. Well, these are all kind of bad. But I guess we could just Unmoored Ego Nykthos. I guess hitting Nykthos is probably worth it. Just like really takes away their explosiveness. Alright, so they have a forest and a mystery card. Alright, well, we have effectively stunted their ability to just like jam big things, but if they draw basically anything, we're in trouble. Alright, well, we found our Bring to Light. Get rid of Decay. Both here. Voracious Hydra. Well, that's a pain. Yeah, blue-white I think is a strong deck. I don't think it's like oppressively strong. It's definitely a strong deck. Alright, so if we Calling Ritual, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we can do both. Okay. Black. Green. white. Yeah, I think it's just a strong deck. I think the Wanderer definitely gives you a lot of ability to win most games. Oh, actually, we could just dreadboard this, but I don't know if we have to. Actually, I am just gonna dreadboard this because they have aspect of the Hydra, so like any creature can just fight our Niv down. Yeah, I like it a lot. We 4-1'd with blue-white last night. It felt very good. Wandering Emperor is devastatingly powerful. Just an absolute house of a card, so I think that has greatly affected blue-white's position in the meta. And March of the Otherworldly Light also helps a lot. I think between the two things, you definitely end up in a position where the deck's very good. Alright, we have won. Alright, so Calling Ritual's good, Despark good, Fatal Push is good, Scarab God good. Cards that are not good, Notion Thief, Unmoored Ego. Those are all good, those are all good, these are great. Decays are a little awkward because a lot of the cards we want to kill are bigger. And like Fatal Push kills the small stuff a little bit more efficiently. We just do this. More cuts. A command. I just use Sharn. Alright. Here we go. We also just, I think, have to play more Fatal Pushes than Decays, just because, like, killing their 1-drops is so important. Well, this hand had a little bit more lands. Oh, this hand has a little bit more lands. This is one of those hands that just gets run over a non-zero amount of the time, but I don't think we can mulligan this hand, because we have everything we need. Let's keep this. We need white, black. Celestis will give us our 5th color, so I think we just back a check land. Could have kept the check land, I guess. It's like save us 2 points of damage at some point in life. Probably would have been better. Second Vanishing Verse is definitely good. Need them not to like go Burning Tree, Nykthos, another thing. Okay, Oath is fine. Depending what they show us, we might just kill this. Old Growth Troll. Alright, well, we really want to kill that. Especially with this file. They have anything for 2 mana? The other question. No, it doesn't look like it. Any 1-drops to follow this up, or are we just taking one? Okay. Confluence isn't bad. We're just gonna hold up Vanishing Verse, kill this Old Growth Troll. Or if they like Vivian. Blobfish XL. Thank you for the follow. Really appreciate you. Ranger class. Alright, that's fine. Thos. It just leveled up. I don't think that's unreasonable. You're just gonna attack? So we could just do nothing here. It's like Ray Ramos, thank you for the sub over on YouTube. Greatly appreciate it. We know they have Old Growth Troll, 2 Mysteries. I think we just want to slam Celestis next turn and get ready to like Calling Ritual them or like Shadows Verdict them. Like maybe we do just Vanishing Verse here. I think we do. I'll have to draw a Fatal Push so we could Celestis plus push, but otherwise I think anything's fine. Yeah, fine. Alright. They have 3 green sources. Okay, well Elf lets them now tap for this. Yeah. So now that we have the Niv, we can just bring to light for Shadow's Verdict, and that should be pretty close to a KO the next turn when we untap with the Niv. Conversely, we could just play the Niv and then Verdict. Okay, well that sort of forces our hand a tiny bit. Now we're just do this, clean the board. Now we just have our things going. They also don't have triple green, so if they have other old growth trills, they're in trouble. Alright, they hit the triple green. Could be a Vivian. Just a Hydra for 2, sure. A little Hydra. This. I think we're just gonna play this lad. Hey, look at that. Just a solid draw 4. We officially hit, yeah, I was gonna say, we officially hit the part where the aggro deck is just buried under the next Bring to Light. Alright, well this has been a rather smooth 3-0. Pretty tough match against Phoenix, but I think when you play against good Phoenix opponents with this deck, it is a tough matchup. Well, this hand's them all. This hand's great. And get rid of this Colossus in this matchup. I mean, they could be on a different deck, right? Like, that's just the way how leagues work, but they... So, we need green-black. Which is kind of awkward for this. With our Triumph situation. I'm gonna make a assumption that they're on the same deck and just make our mana a little worse. And if they show us a different deck, then they got us a little bit. But yeah. The weekend challenges are pretty high EV. Like, I think if you're like a reasonably above average, like if you play Pioneer to a reasonable skill level, I think you are almost certainly plus EV on playing these events. And like if you get 1 or 2 top 8s, it just like chains. Each top 8's like 100 plus tickets or more, and you know, if you go deeper in the event, obviously you get more. I'm still looking for the first trophy. I've gotten second place, a couple top 8s, some third, fourths, but have yet to win a top 8 event on Moto. Couple seconds, couple third, fourths, couple 8ths, or 5th through 8ths, but we're still just in the trophy waiting room. Yeah, I think they're great. I think they also are at a good time for a lot of people, right? Like the Vintage Challenge, for example, like Vintage and Popper switch off, who has like the 3 a.m. Eastern start time on Saturday and Sunday, whereas like Pioneer is 5 p.m. on Saturday and 9 a.m. on Sunday, so it's like very easy to build your day around and still do other things. Which I like a lot, because I usually end up doing more than just the challenges when I'm doing them. Alright, so this is a 3. We get to drop a little Omnath on them. Green, red, blue, white. Need them not to have a Nykthos here pretty badly. Yo, Connorman. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a good stream. Saw you were battling out in the streets of Pioneer as well. Saw you were working on some red-black decks earlier when I was tuning in. Hope it was going well. Everybody over from Connorman's stream. Nice to see you. I'm darthjacen. I stream and do YouTube videos for Pioneer, as well as write articles for DraftSim. And I got a ton of links down below with all my information. Oh no, they had the Nykthos. Ooh, Obosh Rakdos. That sounds sweet. Yeah, I think that was the list I popped in when I was looking earlier. Happy to see cards like Obosh starting to see a little bit more respect on their name. Would love to see cards like that pop up. Cruise into Cruise, jeez. Yeah, we just played against Phoenix last round, and once they start the chain, it is tough. That is, I mean, that is some scratch ticket copium right there. That's just easy book the travel tickets to Vegas on that. 5 Hellbent, 5 cruises. Nothing like it. Oh yeah, easy Vegas. Pack leader. Oh no. This would be a good time for a calling ritual. Bring to light for calling ritual would be Bring to light, calling ritual, or Shadow's Verdict would all be A+. Otherwise, we might be in some trouble. This is an Ulamog next turn. I mean, we could draw like a Dreadbore too, but... Alright, so let's cycle this looking for Dreadbore. Oh! Alright, I think we're dead. Yeah, we don't have any outs to the Ulamog. They got us. We just played against this person too, but this time not so lucky. On to game 2. Yeah, a lot of Llanowar Elf, Winota decks. Yeah, Chainwhirler Thoughtseize. We played against Chainwhirler yesterday. It was a brutal beating. I was playing some humans. Main deck Kalidas. Man, people are wild in a little bit. Alright, get these Ks out, same as last time. K command on Morid, Notion Thief, and Yasharn. Okay. Deck shit can't beat Kalidas. Jeez. You gotta love a good aggro moto message. The aggro salt is my favorite. Well, this hand's good. Falls into the same trap as the last hand where we just need to find any amount of high drops, but that is our deck. The joys of Niv is you just get to keep these hands, and at some point you'll find a 5-drop. Yeah, this the mono green devotion aggro deck instead of the Karn version is an interesting place to see a pickup. Oh, I think it's really good if people are on the mid-range plan. I think Niv is one of those decks that, like Winota, when people start playing mid-range, you just get to go over the top of them. It's one of those decks that, like, I also think that the people who play Niv tend to play pretty exclusively Niv. So it, like, discredits some of the results you see, just because it's like, well, if Claudio wins with Niv, is Niv good or is Claudio good? Type situations. But I think Niv is in a good spot right now, but I think it's definitely a deck that will come and go pretty regularly. Bring to light Niv? Nope. Alright. We'll cycle that. Alright, we'll cycle that one on end step so they don't know what we're up to. Alright, we're just gonna keep drawing through our deck till we can find a 5-drop. Really just don't want them to have the Vivian here. Yeah, I mean, I went 4-1 last night with blue-white, and I think it's very good. It's just... it just needs to find the right matchups. The Wandering Emperor has been nothing but impressive for me. I think that card plus March of the Otherworldly Light. He's definitely a great control player, but I think the deck's real for sure. What if you're just the good player too? The shocking truth. We're kind of in a situation where this is going to be a problem. Yeah, I think we just need to... Izumoto starting to lag a little. Calling Ritual will get the 3 mana, flip our Celestis, just keep digging. Lets us draw to a Fatal Push. Alright, nice. Green, white, red, black, blue. Yep. Oh yeah, Calling Ritual was great. This deck was playing 1 Calling Ritual, 1 consumes all, Hitsurugi consumes all. And I took out the consumes all for the 3rd Calling Ritual just to have more game against the 2 drops, since I think the Luris decks are going to be, or the former Luris decks are going to maybe move up a little bit on the mana curve. Like, I wouldn't be shocked to see more Graveyard Trespassers and Bone Crusher Giants. This could be a 6-drop. It is a 6-drop. That's not good for... Oh, it's a Hydra. That'd be 4/8. But... Alright, we'll save that in case we... Oop, no, we can't use that for white. Hold on. White, red, green. Yo. Immortal or Aram. Thank you for the follow. Greatly appreciate it. Alright, we didn't hit a Dreadbore. I think we just play this tapped. We're dead to Aspect of the Hydra, right? Because it's +5, 14, yeah. We're dead to Aspect of the Hydra, which is interesting to say. But if we get to untap, we just get to wrath the board. They have pseudo unlimited mana too. Alright, I'll block like this. Alright, no Aspect's good for us though. Elf, sure. Could also just Calling Rich. Ooh, that actually is much better, I think. 3, 4. Oh. How's it going, Bailey? Alright, I think we're gonna start here, see if we can find some lands. Yeah, Vanishing Burst is beautiful. This whole pile is beautiful. This makes our lives a lot easier. Do this. I think we just pass. Pass with Vanishing Verse up. Gonna be tough for them to get through. And then next turn we just sort of take over the game. Slowly beat up our tired Tofu opponent. Ooh. Saw you got a trophy on Jessica Ascendancy. That's the 3rd one, Bailey? Absolute monster on Ascendancy, huh? So 2, 4, 5, 6. They can make this a 6. 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they can make it a 7. Which looks appealing because it looks like we have to chump, but then we get to do this. The real treat. Ah, you two played. Love to see a good battle of the heroes of the Pioneer Streets. Good old Ascendancy. I used to love Ascendancy. Maybe I'll get back to playing some Ascendancy on Thursday. You've won me over, Bailey. Traditionally, Ascendancy was a little bit weak to Lotus Field because they could just combo a little faster than you. And then... what else did you not want to see? Niv was your like worst matchup when they were playing Slaughter games. Things like that. Like back with Slaughter games main deck, like Niv just ran over all the Ascendancy decks. And Phoenix can be tough if the opponent plays it well. Alright, so we get the full blowout here. They're going to attack with both, thinking we have to chump, and then we get to just Vanishing Burst their land. Alright, this should send us to game 3. Okay, you like the Phoenix matchup? I wonder if it's changed since they're playing more temporals and are a little bit slower. Flip it back, flip it, reverse it. Oh, we can pitch this land. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Means we can kind of do anything we want, but if we draw another land, we can do this. Okay. Get rid of this. That's true. What could they have with haste? Just Vorn clicks? I don't think I'm afraid of the big bad Vorn. I'm gonna do this just to gain a life, and we do kind of want to land so we can play Scarab God. I'll get rid of Bring to Light, which has got to put fear in our opponent. Gotta draw him. True, true. Yeah, I mean, I think the thing is, like, decks that can protect their threats, it sounds like it's a lot of removal, but it isn't as much removal as I think you would think it might be, per se. Alright, now we can just Scarab God, and that should close out the game. Voracious Hydra. Yeah, Voracious Hydra comes in, fights the Werewolf Pack Leader, attack for 6, game's over. Alright, we gotta do it on the draw, though. Game 3 on the draw is the scary one. Oh yeah, I loved this, the Stubby D decks. Long time ago, it used to be the like Oko Goose, Heart of Kirin Stubby D decks that I loved. I 5-0'd a prelim with that. But even the more recent versions are a lot of fun. Oh yeah. Just put Oko in a deck. Good enough. That was right after the Invitational, right after the Copter ban. Was people moved to that deck. 5-0ing with Oko. Well, remember, everyone else was playing Oko too. So it's a lot harder to 5-0 with Oko when everyone has Oko. The trick is when you're playing Oko and no one else is playing Oko. It's free money. Alright, keep this. That was right after Copter got banned, so all the aggro decks were knocked down a peg. Alright, if we draw White Source, we're absolutely killing it. If not, we're gonna just have to hope we survive till turn 4. Yeah, Field was a thing too. Oh yeah, 4 Okas and a ham sandwich was just like the easy life. Yeah, some number of matches when you have Oko in your deck is just like you show up and your opponent dies. Ooh, 5k BTQ is pretty nice. Is this a Hydra? Oh boy, okay. We need a White Source, because I think we're... Yeah, about to get Nick Thost. No one was playing Hogak where you live? Yeah. Yeah, there was a couple tournaments like that we played at local events that were just like show up with Hogak, watch the whole room, be like, what's that? And so like, okay. 4, 8, 10, 11. Alright, we're dead. We just die on turn 3 if we don't draw a white source. Okay, well, if our opponent knows their deck, we've died. That feels bad. It's had all these answers, just doesn't matter. I mean, maybe they don't see it, right? Because 4, 8, 10, 11, 14, but if they just pump this, it's 15, 16. Oh yeah. Both versions of Hogak were just phenomenal. Absolute monster status. I mean, maybe they don't do it, because like we look like we could have Fatal Push-Up. Oh, they're gonna let us have a turn? I mean, they probably assume they can't die. No, they're gonna do it. Yeah, you got us. If we had the Fatal Push there, Extinction Event on odd, they just have a 2/2. Yeah. That has to be like the best start they could have. Damn. We just didn't draw a white source. I think 3-2 with mono black discard. Let's get a nice 4-1. Not playing against the same deck 3 times in a row. This hand's not it. I'd rather look for a carried hand. Yeah, this hand's much better. So in the dark, this Notion Thief's probably the worst card. We're on the play. We're gonna have 3 mana guaranteed. I don't know if we need both these. I think Lotus Field's still pretty good. I had it as a B tier going into the weekend. It won the first challenge, and I think it's a deck that will continually show up and spike well. If people are in more mid-range, I think you're in good shape for it. In the dark, I think I can just get rid of one of these 5s. Yeah, I think Lotus is strong. Like, I think... Not to give away too much of the tier list from this week, because I'm sure I'm going to have to look at all the results, but I feel like... Okay, this is Mono Blue Spirits. Yep. Yeah, I feel like decks like Blue-White, Winota are going to definitely pick up some steam. Humans will move up in the rankings for sure. Lotus will probably stay around a B, maybe move to an A, but probably stay B. It's a deck that's hard to ever be higher than a B, just because, like, aggro decks get it. This becomes a 2/3? Yeah, nice, we can even block. The buy? Just disrespects my man Hero over here. Although this is not Hero playing Mono Blue. Hero playing Mono Blue is a whole different animal. Alright, well... Ma's Wanderer is a little awkward into this. Yeah, Lotus Field definitely is one of those decks that, like, gets aggroed out at an unreasonable pace. Alright, so... We're a little sad if they, like, slam a Curious Obsession, because we don't get to just Notion Thief it, but I think this gives us the best chance to be able to, Oh no, I called it. I was gonna say, this gives us the best chance to slam this Bring to Light, but now they get to draw an extra card. I wanted to be the one to draw the extra card, how rude. I mean, we could Bring to Light and trade it for this Wanderer, but I don't think that's a good trade for us. I was gonna say, I think they have a Geist Light Snare. Okay, well we still can't Bring to Light because it's a 2. I'm just gonna slam this now. Turn off this. And then if they don't attack with it, then it falls off, and then our Bring to Light's much more likely to resolve. Although they're probably never gonna have to tap out again. It's unfortunate. One of the few matchups where putting away the Niv versus putting away the Bring to Light is rough. So I guess we may want to Bring to Light for like a Shadow's Verdict. But I think a Niv was probably better, but into the Shacklegeist, probably not. Now they have to debate if they want to lose their Curious Obsession or lose a card. Lulu Bell DV, thank you for the follow. Greatly appreciate you. We got cooking here, opponent. It's kind of a tough spot for them. Right, like if they don't attack, they lose this, which also depowers their ability to interact with our Bring to Lights. If they do attack, it just gets in for 2, but we draw a card. Okay, so it looks like they're gonna ultimately choose to sacrifice this. Oh, with a creature? Okay, so they can just protect it with this, that's fine. Not unreasonable. Probably just level this up. Triumph's fine. Not amazing though. I guess we could have cycled the Triumph there to get a draw, because Klothys can just eat it to give us the land next turn either way. It's gonna level up to a 2/3, I assume. Yep. Alright, so 3 mana makes a 4/4. Again, they just kind of get priced into an odd spot here. 3, 6, 7. So we can Bring to Light with 2 extra up. Alright, this could be a Geist Snare, which we can't pay for, unfortunately. Alright, if they have a Geist Light Snare, we're just kind of doomed. So it goes. Second Moz Wanderer, so now we have to hit a land too. Alright, we got lucky. Oh. Black, blue, white, green. If they sack both of these, I think we might just get Niv. But they don't, so then we have to, I think, get Shadow's Verdict here. We get Culling Ritual, but Ritual we don't have anything to do with the Ritual mana. Like if we had like a, I guess Culling Ritual is actually better because it fuels our Klothys. Yeah, I think that's fair. It still just leaves them with this, which is like the biggest problem. Shacklegeist is a big problem on its own, just being able to sort of mitigate our ability to like ever block with a Niv. Okay, we can't attack because we need to offer this trade. Alright, we need to find something. But we'll be able to buy a bunch of time now, because this Klothys is just gonna buy us a lot of life. Extinction Event isn't bad there, it just leaves them with Shacklegeist, which is one of the harder cards for us to deal with. Like if we draw a Niv and they have a Shacklegeist out, we can never block. Yeah, like the second Shacklegeist too is like just a problem. But for now, at least we get to just eat their creatures and gain some life. This could be any number of counter spells, but we didn't come here not to jam. Red, blue, white. Could be Lofty, it could be... It's just nothing. Oh, grab Bring to Light. Grab... I don't think we need K commands. Just grab Dreadbore. A little cheaper. Ooh, the Decay's a good one. I think I'm gonna offer this trade. Oh yeah, just draw the Mega Nut. That's the secret. The secret sauce is just draw the Mega Nut. Oh, we might just be dead. Gav MTG, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. So this is stand up Faceless Haven. We take 8 down to 2. Oh, that's lethal, yeah. They just had it all. One Mega Nut deserves another, as it were. Although if we had a Fatal Push here, but we don't. Damn. I mean, the attack didn't matter, right? Because of this card. So whenever it or another spirit enters, so when they just play the other spirit, it taps it down anyway. The attack does not change anything with the Nebelgast Herald, unfortunately. Oh yeah. Oh, their spirits do. Alright, for these. What don't we want? We don't need the Unmoored Ego. We want all our removal. Ocean Thief's not really what we want. Say... Bring to light. Oh, just Nihiri. Oh yeah, Nebelgast Herald. I mean, they had a lot of the effect we need them not to have there. Shacklegeist is tough for us, and then Nebelgast Herald's like real tough for us. If we had an Overgrown Tomb or any Greenland here, I'd keep, but alas. Alright, Sand's great. Let me just put away the Culling Ritual. We just need our lands too much. Alright, so our sequence here is play the Triumph, Shock, play the Caryatid. Alright, the Triumph guarantees us 5th land on 4, which is nice. No 2-drop at sorcery speed is interesting. Alright, Celestis. Oh, there you go. Enjoy your Star Trek, Connor. Have a good night. Thanks for the raid. Countering the Celestis is interesting there. I don't know if I would care about that, to be honest with you. Alright, so they have a counter spell, because they were just thinking about playing spells and then decided against it, so... I think we're just gonna pass. We're not in a rush quite yet. We can cycle this Triumph. Yeah, Spectral Sailor. We'll end up killing that, but not right now. Yeah, these like spirit decks, if they get board presence under you and can sit behind counter spells, it's definitely tough for Niv. Be any one of the counter spells. Lofty Aura, Snare. Alright, well now that we have an extra Niv, we can kind of just like run it. See if it'll bait anything. Green, black, red, blue. Assumedly this eats a counter spell and then hopefully the next one resolves. Dispute. What are you gonna do, opponent? No 4th land is tough for them, but it does mean they probably just have a grip full of counter spells. Didn't level up here. Alright, well. Once you don't succeed. Yeah, here's the Geist Snare. We're just gonna get chipped to death here. Alright, we'll play Klothos because at least it should warrant a counterspell. No, just resolves. Interesting. Alright. Does this warrant the counterspell? Rattle chains, okay. Okay, well, we are kind of backs against the wall if this Bring to Light doesn't resolve. I'll block here. I mean, they're only hitting us for 4 currently anyway. It's all spirits all the time. Alright, well, we drew what we wanted to draw, or to cast, so... let's do black, green, leave up blue. Okay, Calling Ritual, number 1. Geistlight Snare. Yep. No 3rd mana. I guess we could have just played around Geistlight Snare there by just like eating the land. They're just gonna level up 2 spirits. Okay, well, they have a counterspell here. We're just gonna have that happen. There's a limit to the amount we can play around. Unfortunately, this is a matchup where, like I said, if they get under you and then just have a handful of 5-6 counterspells, yeah. Just what we thought. 3rd one gets us to. We had to play around the other one. Alright. Solid 3-2 with Niv. Sad to lose the mono green aggro one after beating it earlier. Hey there. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you've enjoyed this content on either Twitch or YouTube. If you did, please like or subscribe. If you didn't, be sure to leave a comment down below. I promise not to read it. Until next time.